Right, Hannibal by Nepotis. Still at the beginning, it's only part 3. He, however, as if left as a heritage or an inheritance, conserved thus the odium, the hatred, paternal hatred, the same hatred his father had, erga Romanos. Erga's just like ad, basically, towards the Romans. That prius quam, split here with animum, but he would place down his soul before he would put down this id's odium. So he'd rather lose his soul than his hatred, prius quam. Who indeed, the same guy, when he was pulsus ascended, when he had been driven from his patria, his homeland of Africa, Carthage, and he was indigorate, he was needing the opium of aliens, he was needing the resources of foreigners. He never desiderated. He never so I've got two words. He would die. He never deserted or put down his in his mind, in his animo. He never desisted to war with the Romans, to bellare with the Romans. That's the verb. 2. For as I omit Philip, not really omitting someone if you mention them, whom when Hannibal, I guess, is the absent, and Quam would be Philip, he redded it, he made him an enemy to the Romans. So in his absence, Hannibal still made Philip an enemy of the Romans. Anyway, this is omitted. And so now we'll pick it up here. The most potent Rex, the most powerful Rex of all in that time was King Antiochus. Okay, so the bit that's omitted is actually there. Hunk. So this guy, Rex Antiochus, had such a cupidate, he had such a desire of war, incendiating, burning, that there's a purpose. That, as far as from the Red Sea, he considered, he made an attempt to, he tried to infer arms, to bring arms into Italy, bringing war with the dative, I suppose, to Italy. 2. Adquem, to whom Antiochus, when they came, Roman legates, who explored concerning the will of Antiochus, and they gave operam, they paid attention, you might want to say in some cases, but it looks like they gave some hard work, or they worked hard in clandestine concilis, in clandestine secret plans, so that they would educate the king. They would lead the king into suspecting Hannibal. Tamquam, just as if he had been corrupted by Hannibal's people, I guess, into another type of thinking than what beforehand he had felt. And neither this did they facissent in vain. So they didn't do this frustra in vain. And Hannibal, there's qui for and, Hannibal comparished this. He learnt this, discovered this, that say qui himself, from the interior councils, the most secret inner councils, he had seen himself being segregated or excluded. When time was given, he went to the regime, he went to this King Antioch fellow, and Ei, and to him with much concerning his trustworthiness, fides, and his hatred. That's a, what do they call it, a phrase from a prepositional phrase, and then it continues on with another preposition. He commemorated, or he was thinking about his hatred in Ramos towards the Romans, concerning his own faith and loyalty and his hatred. He had joined this to it. He inquired, pardon me, it's my father, Hamilcar, with me as a young boy, inasmuch as I was not more than, 9 annos natos, I was born for more than 9 years, into Spain. He was a imperator at the time, he was the general or the leader, in opposition with his name. He was present participating. He was setting out from Carthage, and he immolated. He made sacrifices, the hostages of the victims of the sacrifice, to dative Jupiter Optimus Maximus. So I guess they had Jove in Carthage or something similar. 4. Quae, linking to the previous, which divine res, sacrifice, while it was being completed, conficabatur, he quesited from me. Rogo doesn't take a me, Rogo takes accusi, but quesivit and pedo and a few other words take the a me, the ablative thing. So he asked from me whether, in a question, I wanted with him into camp to profiski, to set out for camp with him. This, when gladly I accepted his invitation, and from him I began to Peter, there we go, so using it's ab before vows. So I began to ask him or seek from him that he not duberet, that he doesn't doubt to lead me or take me. Then illy he inquired, I shall do it, faciam. If to me this feedam, which I postulo, which I demand or ask, dederis, you give to me. So if you give me this a bit of a vow or a promise. Simul, same time, he adducted me to the altar. He led me to the altar, upon which he had instituted the sacrifice. Verb taking the infinitive, so you can say he began to, or instituted, or started the sacrifice. There was there a comma there. And EM, I guess this is the altar, with the ablative absolute. With the rest remote, they've already left, been sent away. He ordered me, while I'm holding EM, while I'm holding, so he led me to the altar, and I'm now holding the altar. He ordered that I swear never me into the in friendship with the Romans for would I be. So he had to promise his father he'd never go into friendship with the Romans. 5. This ego I, Jus Urandum, swearing to my father datum. So this is the oath sworn to his father, and as usquiad, as far as this age, this time, I've conserved this jus urandum, this swearing, ita aut correlatives, thus so that it ought to be doubt to no one that in the remaining time of his life, I guess, I would be in the future with the same mind. I will still be thinking the same. 6. Quare. It's like, therefore, if something amicable concerning the Romans you are thinking, you would not be imprudent to do, if you do this, if you hide it from me. So if you're going to do something friendly to the Romans, you better hide it from me. When indeed you prepare war, you'll be frustrating yourself. It won't be to your advantage. If not me in this, you place as the principum, the leader, maybe the general, or in control of what's happening. Heikigator, this then, or therefore, which we said, in this age or time, he perfectus us. He set out into Spain with his patre. 3. Of who, after his obitum, after his death, has Drupal suffected to emperor, or in control. He was praefuit, he was in charge of all the equitatu, the cavalry. Okay, so we're nearly done. So daily dictionary, I've just put this here, suffecto, to a point. Capable, qualified, supply, sufficio. Ficcio usually comes from facio, to make. Sometimes you say sufficient. In English as well, sufficio, sufficient, suffice. But a point would be the point here. Where were we? This also in effect, him also being dead, the summum of the army, the importance of the army, detulated to him. The imperial power of the army was went to him. To him would be Hannibal, the biography this is of. This delatumed to Carthage, when word of this went to Carthage, Publicly, his appointment was com probatum. Com usually means together, but they all approved that he should be the head of the exercitus, the army. 2. Thus, Hannibal, less quinque and viginti years, natus, being born less than, what do you call it, 25 in English, he was factus imperator, he was made the commander. In the proximate 3 years, trienno, there's no A in it for Enno, but next 3 years, all the races of Hispania he subjected via bellum, by war. Sagantum, a federatum civitatem, a city-state in some sort of alliance or treaty. By force he stormed, so it must have been a treaty with the Romans, because he wouldn't have won one that was his own treaty. 3 Maximus armies he procured or gathered. From these, 1 he sent into Africam, and another, with Hasdrubal his brother, he reliquated, he left in Hispania. The 3rd he duxated with himself into Italy. The Sultan, mountain passes he crossed of the Pyrenees. Wherever he made a journey, with all the colas, the inhabitants, he conflicted, and no one, except defeated, did he leave off. So he didn't leave off anyone unless they were defeated.